again. Woo. Right, so I just recorded this whole video and it just switched off. It's like, oh, awesome. So I guess we're supposed to come out here again. So I wanted to talk about death doulas. What are death doulas? And I suppose it's a while since I'd done a last video explaining about them, but I have many titles, many roles, and I don't like confusing people. I like to keep it simple. So I'm just M, but a role that I am qualified to do, if you like. So I'm experienced, I've got training in it and I've got certificates in it, is end of life care, sitting with the dying, and it's the role is called a death doula. So basically it's a death doula is a thatanologist. A thatanologist is someone who has an interest in end of life care. And doulas, they got their name from, there was death doulas got their name from birth doulas, and birth doulas are those that welcome people into this life, welcome babies. They help mothers prepare for pregnancy, go through their pregnancy, and they go all the way through the pregnancy to birthing the child, the baby, and then just after they stay with them sometimes for a while and help them navigate the first part of motherhood, excuse me, which is an awesome thing to do. Now, a death doula works the other way because there's something in life that we're going to do only once, and that's die. Like, I suppose if you know, we can only be born again and we can only fully die once. Sure, we get somewhere close to dying and we can end up coming back, but that's not always the case. So in cases where, I mean, it's possible people come to death doulas and then have full-on recoveries. The difference that there is that when you're able to be supported fully and seen and heard and receive that love that you need, it is possible to make a full recovery. But it is possible as well that you won't. But people don't like talking about death. So a death doula has to have many different names so that they're more accepted by society, because we live in a death-phobic society. So what I mean is that we live in a society where death is kept often in hospitals and care homes and nursing homes, and it's somewhere, it's pushed away and left to professionals, and it's not often done in the home anymore. Whereas only a few decades ago, it was. It was always in the home, and there wasn't. Well, it was very rare to be anywhere other than the home or a hospital. Nowadays, they're so hell-bent on preserving life that people are kept alive for a considerably longer time than what they would have done years ago. Now, so we'll not get onto that. We'll just go straight into the fact that a death doula supports someone from, say, an interest. So I've supported people, they come to me and say, I'm scared of dying. I say, okay, let's talk about it. And we look at that fear of dying. And sometimes people just have that fear for, it isn't because they're faced with like a diagnosis, it's just because they're scared of dying. And the majority of people are. There's not many people if you generalize and you look at 8 billion people in the world, at that 8 billion people, there's a small percentage of those that are like, yeah, okay, I'm cool with death. Like, and, you know, obviously for me, I don't want a painful death, but I know that I've looked death straight in the face and I've gone, okay, let's go. Like, if this is my time, it's my time, I'm cool with that. So I've been able to embrace death as a friend, and I've seen death from many perspectives, as a doula and also as a patient, or just as a general human being. So for me, what I do is not just me, but all doulas, we support people to navigate the process, which can be from having a fear, having a diagnosis. Some people they don't want to die alone, so they're like, I'm getting older, absolutely great health, but I don't want to die alone. Can we build up some form of companionship? So then they have check-ins and things like that, so that they don't feel so alone, and so that they're prepared and everything else is in order should anything happen. Just in case is usually a really good word, because doulas are always just in cases. With doulas, it's let's get the paperwork done just in case, so then it's done, ready. Let's get things, maybe your head's not in it, you don't want to do the paperwork, awesome. What can you do? What is it that you're facing? Like, is it that you need to get your house sorted? How can we get things to improve your quality of life right now? Is there some self-care practices? Is there anything that we can do that will change your quality of life, how you're living right now, and make things easier for you? So we help you look at how you are and meet you right here, right now, in the moment, regardless of where you're at. And then we help you look into your feelings and your wants and needs around diagnosis and chronic illness. And we help you navigate paperwork. We help you, if not just if it's you, like, because it's very, very often the case that it's not the person that's dealing with the diagnosis that's wanting the help. They're so overwhelmed by it all, it's just too much. And these people are so in need of guidance, but the person looking after them is close to burnout, and they're just kind of being dragged on by the flow, or should I say the heavy current. So it's often the carer that comes to the doula and says, hey, could you help me? So in that respect, we as doulas are able to help the person with the diagnosis. So we're able to help family, we're able to help friends, we're able to help communities navigate situations. Technically, like, I mean, I know there's been doulas that have helped with school shootings and things over in America, and it wouldn't surprise me if there was a doula helping support the community in Southport. If there isn't, there should be, and give me a call. If you're watching and you know something, that's what we do. So here we are, helping navigate the system. We help you sort out your paperwork, we help you get the right care in place, we help you access grants if need be, and sometimes it's just about providing a listening ear, and we help you work out what your needs are, and then we help you achieve what's needed so that you can improve your quality of life. You know, I specialise in grief and trauma, so I help people manage as a psychotherapist, and I also am a minister, a non-denominational minister and metaphysics, which is a philosophy about finding the light within ourselves. So I'm able to hold funerals for people that aren't religious. Maybe they're spiritual and they want to look into having a spiritual type funeral. I can make that happen. And there's zillions of doulas out there. We're getting more and more popular, more and more known, and we have so many specialities. And I have a huge network because I'm in with the Care Doula School, headed and founded by Deanna Cochran, who is one of the trailblazers in the industry. So I have a massive network of people that I can tap into for help and assistance with things all around the globe. So for me, my specialities apart from grief and trauma is, I suppose, country-wise, it's UK, Portugal and the USA. So wherever you are in the world, you know, we are likely to know someone who can help you or provide an online service, which I also do. Now, doulas, they really do everything. It's like having your own PA, you know, your own personal assistant. So we're here to help you to manage like your feelings and expectations, like what's it going to be like when I die? I mean, no one really knows because every death is different, and those people that I've met that have sat with many hundreds of deaths, like, and been present for hundreds of people dying through their work, has said that there's never been one death the same. So we can't look at things like that, but what we can look at is we can look at how it is for you, what's the likelihood of, you know, your environment, and what would you like to happen at these times. Like, if you could imagine your best death, what would it be like, and how can we together, how can we achieve that? Like, we doulas help that happen, and that is awesome. See, I get excited because it is such an honour to be with people at these times. There is something so sacred and so magical about when a person transitions. It is just such a wonderful time. It really is that last breath. And yeah, it's really something that you can understand. I mean, I can understand from personal experience what it was like to fear death, and then making friends so intimately with death, I now can look at death so completely differently. It really is my friend. So I class it as a dance between life and death, because we're all doing that. We are so close to death in every second, and death comes and you don't see it coming, and boom, there it is, there it happens, and all of a sudden you've got a funeral to sort out, and you've got sometimes people have never been to a funeral directors before. This is what we do as doulas. We help you work out your funeral directors, work out how you want your funeral, and then we go on to support the family and friends and community through the funeral, all the way through to way after the person's transitioned and they've been cremated, and we continue to help support for as long as need be, because grief doesn't have a timeline. So I have people still contact me now 2 or 3 years after someone's transitioned. So these things are helpful to know, that it gives you peace of mind knowing that you can get support during the just in case and the preparing for. You can get support that's provides like amazing support for right at the end of that very intimate end stage of life, and the preparing of the body, and the moving on to how you can have your friends and family or community supported after you go. Like, all that is possible. I mean, I don't know about you, but when I realised that that was the power that we all hold inside of us, it changed my life and my perspective on death and what to do when it happened, and it helped me to make some beginning in making my peace with death. So please, like, no one has to go this alone. Please reach out wherever you are globally, to me, to anyone in the Care Doula School, or to anyone. Look up Death Doula. Try and make sure they've got qualifications, certificates, or experience. There's amazing companies or organisations out there like Dignity in Dying, Compassionate, I think it is something in Compassion in Action. Near get it right in the end. There's also talking about death. There's I've forgotten the place, but I have a link for it. So the Conversation Project, I knew it would come there eventually, and that's how to have the conversations about end of life and advocates and stuff, because when you often try and talk to people like family and friends, they don't want to know. So it really gives you a way of working with things yourself before you have these conversations. So go on, there's loads of stuff out there. For those of you that are interested in becoming a death doula, or contact your local palliative care place, look at becoming a volunteer. Living, is it Doorway into Light project, I think, and Living and Dying with Dale Borglum, which is Ramdev. What they do is truly amazing. There's loads of grief work that was done with Stephen and Andrea Levine. You can look that up. Roshi Joan Halifax, the Upaya Zen Centre, they do, mainly headed by Roshi Joan. She has been like one of the trailblazers in the industry for most of her adult life, and you will find so much that she does with Frank Ozeski. I can never say his name, but he is another amazing teacher. And then of course you've got the most marvellous, I love the words of Stephen Jenkinson. I love the words, I love his ways, I love the music, I love the way that he approaches death in another completely beautiful, sacred and precious way. Stephen Jenkinson, another trailblazer in this industry, helping serve people, in his book Die Wise. Please do go there. So yeah, if you would like to know any more, drop me a line, check out my channel. You can find me each month on the Departure Lounge with Carl Munson on Good Morning Portugal. I am here to serve. This is what I do. And for me, I offer my doula services and my funeral services, no charge. But I do for grief and grief counselling, is also not for charge. But when it comes to the trauma counselling and things like energy medicine training, and also because I train people with energy medicine and I'm a Reiki master, and to be able to do that, I do charge a fee. So if you would like to contact me about anything at all, please do. Please, I am right here. And I really am excited and look forward to speaking to you and serving you globally. Like, please don't let space and time be a barrier to reaching out and making that call. All right, big loves. Thank you.